Hey guys, welcome to Smack Talk. I am your host Boise, and these are 10 NXT picks to go to either Raw or SmackDown. So what I've done pretty much is split them into 5 picks each. So Raw gets 5, SmackDown gets 5, right? Why have I chosen these, 10 picks in particular? Main reason is their stories either are coming to an end on NXT and I think it's time for them to move on, or that they've done everything they possibly can do in NXT at the level they're at, and it is time for them to go to the main roster. Some honourable mentions who haven't been picked is EC3. I still think he has quite a lot to do in NXT before he's ready to move up. Tommaso Ciampa, I'm just loving him as NXT champion. I think he could hold the title for some time before he gets called up to the main roster. And Velveteen Dream. Velveteen Dream is over as hell as a character, but I still think his in-ring skill still need polishing before he gets into the main roster as well. With all that said and done, this is my top 10 picks from NXT. Let's hit the music. Number 10 is a pretty simple one because she's just recently made a SmackDown debut, Nikki Cross. Yeah, I chose Nikki mainly because, end of the day, we've already just recently seen her on SmackDown. She's still involved in the Aleister Black, Johnny Gargano kind of storytelling right now. But I think once this is done after War Games, that's it. Their story is ended with Nikki Cross. And I think it's time for her to get a full-time membership on SmackDown Live. Right now, if you look on the WWE website, Nikki is still classed as an NXT superstar. And I'd love to see after War Games that she gets moved up and starts working with Sanity again, who have felt a little bit lost without the Twisted Sister since moving on to SmackDown. So I think this is a great pick. I know it's a bit of a cop-out because she has just recently made her debut on SmackDown, but I think she's a perfect candidate for the SmackDown Women's Division to just, let's be honest, she's going to add a little bit more crazy to a very strong division. Number 9, Lars Sullivan. Lars Sullivan isn't just your typical big man. He's kind of worked himself into a great corner in NXT, where he is big, scary, strong, but he also has intelligence, and you can see that when he cuts his promos. And to be honest, he would fit perfectly on the Raw brand right now. We've got guys like Braun Strowman, Brock Lesnar and Drew McIntyre. The only one on those 3 who I think has, comes across as more than just a big strong guy is Drew. And Lars Sullivan could fit that mold of strong but intelligent as well. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I honestly do want to see Lars Sullivan taking on Braun Strowman, Brock Lesnar and Drew McIntyre. Who does not want to see those titans collide? Because I know I do. And let's be honest, he hasn't got anything going on too much on NXT. He just recently had a bit of a match with Velveteen Dream because he's annoyed that Velveteen Dream is the #1 contender. But that's not really much of a storyline going into or after War Games. Hopefully that could be it and he can move on to the main roster. And let's be honest, we all know Vince McMahon would love to have someone like him on Raw itself. Number 8, the Street Profits. Now, the Street Profits have just finished their feud with the Mighty, and they're not looking like they're going into anything in particular after War Games. And to be honest, they are absolutely entertaining, the crowd love them, and I could easily see them tearing it up on the SmackDown Tag Team Division. The SmackDown Tag Team Division needs freshening up, and the Street Profits could be the team to do that for the Blue brand. Don't get me wrong, the SmackDown Tag Team Division is absolutely packed right now, and it would be difficult for them to stand out, but I think the characters they have right now in NXT could easily shine on the Blue brand itself. And I'm not gonna lie, I want to see the Street Profits coming out with R-Truth, because I think that would be damn awesome. So there you go, number 8, the Street Profits. Number 7, talking about tag teams, War Raiders. Now I know what you think, hold on, War Raiders are challenging for the NXT Tag Team titles. And I understand, yes, but I honestly do think after maybe Royal Rumble, they should be able to be called up. I don't think their reign needs to be that long. I think NXT's tag team division is so packed right now that teams like War Raiders can just go straight up to the main roster and dominate. And Raw needs a team like that right now. The Raw tag team division is absolutely in disarray, and only recently we finally got AOP getting the tag team gold, which, to be honest, feels like booking which has just been necessary put together because the writers need a tag team to take on the SmackDown tag team champions. And they were like, well, we've only got AOP, who we've kind of built up. War Raiders would be a great addition. They could easily help rebuild the Raw tag team division in such a quick and easy fix. Have them feud with a big team like AOP for the Raw tag team titles. They could easily get fans excited about watching tag team wrestling again on the red brand. So there we go. Number 6, I think Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane, his story is going to be, let's be honest, I honestly think her story is going to end at War Games. I think after her final battle with Shayna Baszler, that's going to end their chapter, their rivalry, and Kairi can finally move up to the main roster. And to be honest, it was a bit of a flip of a coin, which brand should work out better for. But end of the day, I chose SmackDown. Reason is, I think the SmackDown women's division is slightly more competitive for her, and I think she would fit in perfectly right there. She can start right in the middle straight away. She can be challenging the bigger names like Charlotte, Becky, Asuka, Naomi, really get herself mixed in with these type of guys. And let's be honest, she's such a pure baby face. She could easily have a rivalry with Asuka. Who doesn't want to see that? Asuka's babyface kind of stint has been really damaging for her character on the main roster. Her turning heel on her fellow countrywoman would be a great storytelling. Those two's rivalry going back to when they battled each other in Japan all the way here to the US would be a great way to introduce and bring Asuka up to the badass we all know she truly is. Would absolutely work out fantastic. So number 6, Kairi Sane. Number 5 is Johnny Gargano. Now I know what you're thinking. Hold on, I thought you were going to add people whose stories are about to end or they're ready to move on. Now Johnny Gargano was, for me, ready to move on to the main roster for Raw after TakeOver Brooklyn. I thought that was a perfect time. His story with Tommaso Ciampa's kind of ended. It ended on a sour. Sometimes the good guy doesn't always win, and he could have called up and he would have such a big baby face pop on his debut on Raw. But no, we kept him on NXT, and him turning heelish without really realising he is now a bad guy. It's like that great scene from Dark Knight where you either die the hero or you live long enough to see yourself turn the villain, and that's what's happened to Johnny Gargano. He's stayed on NXT so long now, he has turned into the villain he despises the most. He's turning into Tommaso Ciampa, and that's fine. But I honestly think not after War Games. I don't think after War Games, but maybe just after, after the Royal Rumble, Johnny Gargano will be moved up to the main roster, and I think Raw would be a perfect fit for him. A heel Johnny Gargano taking on guys like Finn Balor, Seth Rollins. Who doesn't want to see that? I know I would. I know a lot of the crowd would love to see that. And Johnny Gargano can cement himself as one of the big heels on the Raw brand quite easily. Number 4, the man Johnny Gargano is going to take on at TakeOver War Games, Aleister Black. Yeah, Aleister Black going to SmackDown just feels like the right fit for him. SmackDown's always been like the land of guys like Aleister Black, AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan. He would fit in perfectly, and let's be honest, after TakeOver, I could either see Aleister win or lose. It doesn't matter, because I think his story in NXT will come to an end after that match. I think that will be it. He can finally move on, and he can finally go on to taking on big names. And let's be honest, Aleister Black, if you insert him straight into SmackDown, we know he can have great matches with Andrade Cien Almas. We know he will have fantastic matches against Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio. Who does not want to see Aleister Black versus Rey Mysterio on SmackDown? I know I would. This, as I keep saying, guys, this is opinion based only, but Aleister Black on the blue brand will feel like a new modern day Undertaker kind of style just coming to the blue brand, which I think they desperately need. That guy who's a badass but so cool. Number 3, Shayna Baszler. Now, I know what you think. Hold on. Shayna's the current NXT Women's Champion, and the only person they've kind of built up to take Shayna on is Kairi Sane, who you put onto SmackDown. Yes, but let's be honest, Shayna will have to drop the belt at some point, and there's quite a few women now on the NXT brand who I think could hold it. Candice LeRae could easily be, because if she doesn't turn heel with her husband Johnny Gargano, the next big babyface. Dakota Kai already has a footprint on Baszler's time on NXT, and she feels like the perfect person to actually. She was the first person to take Baszler on, and now she could be the last person to take her on before she leaves. Baszler is the perfect foil for Ronda Rousey. This is why I put her in this list. Ronda Rousey's been built up like a Terminator. She's OP. It feels like no one can beat her. The only person I think right now who WWE have built up in the right way to take her on is Becky Lynch, and Becky Lynch has only done that herself. The writers haven't done that. The fans and Becky Lynch have made Becky the suitable challenger for Ronda Rousey. Shayna Baszler is in the same breath. She's such a badass, and she's that heel. She's the mirror of Ronda Rousey. She comes from the same background. They are friends, but Shayna is a heel. She does what she needs to do to win, while Ronda does everything in her power by the rules to win herself. So this would be a great clash, and let's be honest, this would really cement the 4 horsemen of the UFC as legitimate badasses if these two could really have a great feud together. 2, British Strong Style. That's right, I'm putting British Strong Style in SmackDown Live. Why? Because I think they would fit in perfectly. Again, just as much as I picked Aleister Black onto the blue brand, again, Pete Dunne, Trent Seven and Tyler Bates are already ready enough to go on to SmackDown Live. They could dominate the tag team division. They could dominate the singles competitors market. These guys could easily take on every single, and they could be as powerful as a faction as the Shield were. They feel like the British Shield for me half the time, because you can tell these guys don't mess around. They're all baby faces, don't get me wrong, they're all good guys on the show, but we could honestly see a great heel turn on all 3 men where they dominate the SmackDown roster, which could be interesting to see. And let's be honest, who doesn't want to see Pete Dunne or Trent Seven hold the WWE title at least once? I know I would as a British fan. I know right now they're building up the NXT UK brand, but once that brand is up and running, what's stopping them from going up to the main roster and dominating the main roster like they have done for the NXT UK section? I know I'm excited, and I know a lot of fans would be as well. And the number 1 choice and pick for Raw, Undisputed Era. Undisputed Era would add so much to the Raw roster, mainly because, again, just like the Raw Raiders would do with their tag team division, Strong, O'Reilly, Fish, those guys can easily go into the tag team division, dominate that, help rebuild that with AOP, with War Raiders, really put some great feuds together with the guys who are on that roster already, and like the B team. Honestly, it's surprising that the Raw tag team, they haven't been called up sooner rather than later, because it just makes no sense. They are the hottest commodity on NXT. Adam Cole could easily be challenging guys like Seth Rollins and Finn Balor and really pushing them to their limits again, with Johnny Gargano taking him on for titles. Adam Cole is a big name in NXT, and he could be a huge name on the Raw brand. And the rest of the Undisputed Era could easily dominate as well. Even if he decided to split them up later on, those guys will legitimately come across like badasses because of their time as Undisputed Era. So for me, the final choice has to be Undisputed Era to Raw. They would help rebuild the brand and they'll freshen and mix stuff up like they have done on NXT. And there you go, guys, that is my 10 picks from NXT to both Raw and SmackDown. What did you guys think? If you don't agree, put your version in the comments below. If you do like our videos though, please like, subscribe and press the bell to keep notified. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do it. It's at SmackTalk YouTube. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Boise88. And I'll see you guys next time on Smack Talk Wrestling.